Yo, what is good, everybody? It is your boy Ant, one half of Delinquent Duo here, coming at you with a Dragon Link 101 class session. In today's video, we're going to be going over some basic Dragon Link plays. We're going to be talking about what cards can get you to your full board, and what extenders actually facilitate the milestones that you want to reach within your combo. If you guys like this content, please consider giving us a like and subscribing to the channel. We come out with new videos every Monday and Wednesday, so you're going to want to hit that bell icon so you're up to date on all that sweet content. Without further ado, let's get into the Dragon Link lecture. So, right here is your full end board. You end on 2.5 negates and a floodgate extra deck lock. So what does that mean exactly? Well, we have 2 Omni negates with Herald and Borreload Savage. Herald contribute himself so that way he negates a spell or trap or monster effect and destroys it, and Borreload Savage can remove one of the counters on him so that way you can negate a spell or trap or monster effect. The Hieratic Seal of Heavenly Spheres contribute a face-up card on the field and bounce a card back to your opponent's hand. So that's why I say 2.5 negates, because we pretty much have 1 with Herald, 2 with Savage, and the half is with the Heavenly Spheres. The Floodgate that you guys have is from Union Carrier attaching the Dragon Buster Destruction Sword onto Borreload Savage. Now with this end board, you're going to end it on it very consistently if you sequence your plays right and play through your opponent's hand traps or do your combo to its fullest extent. Sometimes you could switch out the Saryuja Skull Dread with a Link with a Halki Fiber Axe so that you have 2. Just depends on how hard you go. If you actually want to make the Saryuja, some people don't play that, but that's okay. You're still going to end with 2 negates at least on the Borreload Savage. So let's go over the general steps of the combo first. And I'll talk about all of this in just a general way, because Dragon Link is a deck that has so many different extenders and so many different lines of play. It's kind of hard to conceptualize it by just talking about what specific card can do this and that and that. There's a lot of different cards that can get you to these points, and this is what I refer to as the milestones that you want to reach in your combo. So we pretty much have 5 different milestones that we want to reach, and the first one being to start out your full play is any 2 dragons for Romulus. So any 2 dragons means that you need to have 2 dragons on board so that you can link them away so you can get your Dragoonity Romulus, which gets you your tuner, and that goes into the next step right there. So with your tuner, you can use Halki Fiber Axe, and then Halki Fiber Axe and Link Cross and all that other stuff. That gets you into Herald, which is your first negate that you're going to set up, so that way you are protected for the rest of your turn as well. The Halki Fiber Axe is going to set up the Link Arrows and give you another Dragon Monster potentially, so that way you can set up your third milestone. What you want to do is get into LP and Pisty. LP and Pisty are the best Dragon extenders pretty much in the extra deck, because they can special summon from the graveyard or the deck. LP special summons from deck, Pisty specials from grave or banished. So they're really good to extend, but kind of have a awkward requirement where they need 2 Link Arrows pointing at each other. So that's why you need to set up your Link Arrows in a certain way so that you can get your LP and Pisty active. And that's why you need Halki Fiber Axe, because pretty much it provides 2 down arrows going to the left and right at the bottom, and you can make LP and Pisty in either of those. They're not pointing at each other, and they have a spot in the middle for you to go to. That gets you into your next extenders, which will get you to a Union Carrier, which is your 4th milestone in the combo. You pretty much make Hieratic Seal, and then after that, after you get LP and Pisty off of board, you make Union Carrier with 2 similar monsters. So it could be 2 Darks, 2 Lights, 2 Dragons, whatever. Go into Union Carrier so that way when you actually do make Savage, you can attach that after. So Union Carrier is the 4th milestone that you want to reach, and you're going to need extenders to do that. For the 5th milestone, which is the final negate that you have, it's the final negate that you set up, is the Savage and Buster Lock. So you use Rocket Tracer to get Borreload Savage with 2 level 4 dragon monsters, pretty much. and then you use Union Carrier effect to attach the Dragon Buster Destruction Sword onto your Savage. So those are pretty much the 5 steps in the combo that you want to reach. Those are the 5 milestones that are very significant in order for you to reach your full end board. Like I said, there's many different ways to get there, and there's many different extenders that you could use in order to end on that full board. So right now I'm going to talk about the extenders that you need and the starters that you need in order to make this possible. But this is pretty much all the main deck stuff that you will see like in your opening hand, and this is how you're going to want to sequence your plays if you have these cards, which I'll explain just a little bit later after we go into the video. So right here is a little chart that I made kind of describing what main deck cards and what cards you're going to see in your opening hand that are going to help you facilitate your combo and reach the milestones that you need to. So to start off, like I said, we need any 2 dragon monsters, and these 4 cards that you see right here are pretty much the best cards that you're going to want to open up with in order to get 2 dragons on board. That is Black Metal Dragon, Starlight Seyfert, Chaos Space, and 1-for-1. I kind of ordered them in like from best to worst, so I think Black Metal is one of the best normal summons that you have in the deck because you can link him away for Striker Dragon, chain block that in order to get Boot Sector Launch and the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, and then that will get you 2 dragons on board so that way you can make Romulus. Starlight Seyfert is another good normal summon that you could have. He pictures himself from the field, and you can search something like a Black Dragon Collapse Serpent, so that way you can fully extend as well with the chain block. And then Chaos Space, of course, if you have the right cost, pitching a light or dark, you can search Black or White Dragon, and again, that is 2 dragon monsters to full combo with a chain block. 1-for-1 as well can get you Black Metal Dragon. These God tier extenders that you see right here pretty much can go anywhere at any point in your combo in order to reach the milestone that you need to, which is why I say they're God tier, because they're just a monster reborn. And any normal summon and one of these is also full combo because that gets you 2 dragons on board. The next milestone that I want to talk about is getting to Halqifibrax and Herald. You pretty much need a tuner extender, and usually with your full combo you'll try to do it with Romulus, but if you get interrupted on your Romulus where you can't get Dragunity Divine Lance and a Dragunity Phalanx, you're going to want to need a tuner extender in your hand in order to summon that on board so that you can make Needle Fiber that way. For example, if you have Black Metal Dragon and Quick Launch in your hand, I would probably normal summon Black Metal first, and then try to go that route to get Dragunity Divine Lance and Phalanx and all that stuff so that I can make Needle Fiber. But if I get interrupted at any point, like an Imperm on my Dragunity Romulus, then I'm going to need an extender in my hand. So you're going to want to save something like a Quick Launch or an E-Telly so that way you can make your Needle Fiber from those. So Quick Launch can search you a rocket monster. It special summons a rocket from your deck. So you can search, you can special Rocket Tracer or special Rocket Synchron, and those 2 are both tuners so that you can make Needle Fiber. The E-Telly, of course, can search you your Gamma, which is a tuner, and then 1-for-1 again searches like Rocket Tracer, special summons Rocket Synchron from your deck, and then blah blah blah. The next milestone I want to talk about is the Union Carrier, and you're going to need any 2 same extenders that are the same type or attribute. So you're going to need 2 darks, 2 lights, 2 dragons, whatever. But either of these cards that you see right here are pretty much 1 card, 2 monsters. That is the Red Eyes Darkness Metal. If you like draw them in your hand, you can banish something like an LP or Pisty, and then special summon another dragon from your grave so that you can make Union. Levianeer is searchable pretty much through Omni Dragon Brotar if you could special summon him, and then you'll have 2 dragons somehow that way. You can also special summon a monster from your grave if you banish 3 lights, but that hardly ever comes up. But again, it is just a way to have 2 dragons on board. And then the white and the black dragon, if you guys haven't used those yet at that point in your combo, you can banish something from your grave and then use those 2 for 2 dragon monsters that make Union Carrier that way. Right here on the side, we have these 2 monsters that you could get out with LP, which is Omni Dragon Brotar or Black Metal Dragon, so that way these pretty much turn into 2 dragon monsters. Brotar can search any dragon, usually searching Chaos Dragon Levianeer, or another extender that you need, like a rocket monster or something like that. And then Black Metal, if you hadn't used that in your combo, yet, you can special summon that out, and then you can get the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. So, these are all of like the best extenders that you have in your deck, and pretty much this is how you want to sequence your hand in order to end on your full board if you do expect interruptions from your opponent. So before we get into the test hands, I want to show you guys the Dragon Link core that I'm using right now. Basically what the core is the like bare minimum of what you will need in order to facilitate your combos in the most consistent way. This is based off of Cody Angelov's build pretty much. I think his 40 card Dragon Link build is like one of the best 40 card builds out there right now, and you guys can see him play that on his Twitch, which is where I learned a lot on how to play this deck. So go check that out as well. Also, he has a YouTube channel, so shouts out to that as well. But without further ado, let's look at our monsters. Of course, we have 3 Black Metal Dragon. Like I said, this is like one of your best normal summons to the deck because it gets you into Red Eyes Darkness Metal, which is a 2 dragon monsters. Then we also have 1 Starleech Safer. You could play this at 3, of course, if you want to, but I think I like 1 the best because I think he's like a lesser normal summon. But yeah, he pretty much searches out the Black Dragon, which can get you 2 monsters as well. And then the Chaos Space is like the next best thing, I think. Probably one of the best things that you could start out with, so maxing out on this is really good because it can get you 2 dragons in black and white. And then we have the 1-for-1, which is like the final, I would say probably like least good starter because it has such a heavy activation cost, but it lets you do your full combo without a normal summon, which is really, really good as well. After that, we have the extenders. Omni Dragon Brotar and Chaos Dragon Legionnaire. Like I said, these will get you into Union Carrier. And then we have the God tier extenders right here, the Monster Reborn and the World Legacy Guard Dragon. And then the Tuner extenders, which are the quick launches, the Red Rose, White Rose package right there, the Dragoonity Phalanx and the Divine Lance package right there as well. And then of course we have the Rocket package as well for the Boot Sector launch, Rocket Tracer, Rocket Synchron, Recharger. And then finally, we have the Dragon Buster Destruction Sword. So pretty much these are like the bare minimum cards that you're going to want to run in your deck. Then you pretty much add hand traps and stuff like that to fill out and make it 40 cards. Going on to the extra deck right now, it's pretty much 14 cards that you really, really need. And then 1 card that is interchangeable, Saryuja or Delindrous Dragon. These 2 are interchangeable. I personally like Saryuja the best because he's like a really good extender, and he can potentially draw you a lot of cards, and I'll show you guys that combo as well. But going on to the main extra deck, we have the 2 Striker Dragon right here. These link off pretty much for any 1 dragon monster, so that way you can get like your Black Metal effect and stuff like that. Dragoonity Romulus, of course, gets you your Divine Lance and Phalanx, so that way you can make your Link Cross to go into Metal Marcher, to go into Needle Fiber, and then to go into your Herald with your Red Rose Dragon, which will special summon White Rose Dragon, so that way you can get into your next point, which is the LP and Pisty. So LP, Pisty, you use these guys and you can special summon out something like a Brotar or a Rocket Tracer or a Black Metal Dragon, and then that will get you to your Protector Whelp to link these guys off so that you're not locked into dragons, and then get into Union Carrier and Hieratic Seal and stuff like that. So after that, you're going to use your Savage Dragon with a Tracer, popping something like the Boot Sector launch to special summon your Rocket Recharger, getting into Savage. And then finally you have a Borreload Savage on your following turn to OTK. And then you can also use something like Saryuja in your deck, so that way you have more extenders and stuff like that too. We also have some other text that you could have in your core. There is the Noctovision, which is good at chain blocking things, but I think it's kind of like a brick sometimes because you can't really special summon it or normal summon it when you start out. You need another normal summon that gets you into Strike Your Dragon, so I think it's like okay. Vylon Cube is a kind of nice package, but you need to replace it with your red and white dragon. But it can get you a Smoke Grenade of the Time Thief, which is really, really strong. Other than that, you have to use Living Fossil, which is like an okay extender. It's pretty much another God tier extender, but searching it out with Vylon Cube and needing it for your combo makes it really bad against Droll and Lockbird. So yeah, there you go. I'm going to fill out the rest of this list right here, and then we're going to go into some test hands. So of course, just for this format, we pretty much want a lot of hand traps. So we're going to have Nibiru, we're going to have the Psy-Frame package, which is the Gamma and Driver, of course. And then we also have the Emergency Teleport. So that way we have another tuner extender with Gamma. And then we have like 2 extra cards right here as well. And that's usually like something like an Imperm. So as your final hand trap. So you could have like 2, or this is what Cody Angeloff does. He just takes out 1 World Legacy Guard Dragon and then has that. So that's pretty much his list right there. And you have a lot of good hand traps, a lot of good extension for your plays. So let's use this list and go into some test hands. We have a pretty standard hand. We have 2 hand traps with the Gamma and Imperm, which are kind of dead going first, but we also have Rocket Synchron, Black Metal, and World Legacy Guard Dragon. So we have a good normal summon, we have a God tier extender, and we also have a tuner extender possibly. So we are going to normal summon the Black Metal first, and then get him off with the Striker Dragons. Then we can organize the chain links as 2 for Black Metal and 1 for the boot. We can get our Red MD to hand, and then we can get Boot Sector Launch to hand. Now we have a couple different extenders. Now Boot Sector Launch is actually a tuner extender, so we can use for later. We can banish the Striker Dragon to special summon our Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, use his effect to special summon the Black Metal, and then we have 2 Dragon Monsters, of course, which is the first part that we need, our first milestone in our combo, so that we can get Romulus. And then get Romulus's effect right here to get our Dragoonity Divine Lance to hand. And then a Divine Lance, we're going to activate it on the Romulus, use its effect to attach another Dragoonity monster, which is the Phalanx, because Phalanx could special summon himself, which we are going to use his effect right here to special summon himself over there. And usually when we're on a special summon that in defense, then we link Romulus for Link Cross, getting Link Cross effect to get 2 tokens, and then we can use the Phalanx for the Metal Marcher, and then Marcher's effect will let us special summon the Phalanx back, and then right here is where your opponent's usually going to Nibiru you, but if he does, we still have the Boot Sector Launch and the Rocket Synchron for the Needle Fiber. So we can go into our Needle Fiber pending that. So the Needle Fiber's effect will get us another Dragon Monster, and we can of course get our Rose Dragon, of course. So we can get into Herald. The Rose Dragon and the token are going to go into Herald, and then Red Rose effect is going to let a special White Dragon from the deck. And ma'am. Then we have 2 dragons right here, which is the next part of our combo, because we need to get into LP and Pisty. So we can go into LP with the Phalanx, and we can go into Pisty with the other dude, and then we can get LP's effect. We're going to want to get into a way to get our Union Carrier. So we're going to use LP's effect to actually get Barotar right here, and then we're going to use Barotar's effect to discard. Now we're not going to add Levianeer this time because we still need a Rocket Tracer. So we're going to just discard the Gamma because we're not going to need it at this point, and then we can get our Rocket Tracer. And because we actually have the Boot Sector Launch in our hand, that is a really good extender, that we could actually get Synchron and Tracer on the board at the same time. So with all of this, we can go into a Saryuja for these 3. And then we have the Saryuja effects, that way we can special summon, but it's also giving us another arrow right there. And we can use Boot Sector Launcher's effect, and then special summon these guys right here. And then we can use LP's effect to bring back like the Striker Dragon right there. And then we can link all of these stuff. We can link all of this stuff off to go into our Heraldic Seal. And then we can link like these two things off to go into our Union Carrier. And then we can use this effect to pop our Boot Sector Launch. And then go into the Rocket Recharger. And then, of course, this is going to let us get our Savage with the Saryuja. Special summon him in attack, activate his effect to attach Saryuja, and then give him 4 counters and make him really, really swole. And then use the Union Carrier effect to attach our Buster Dragon Destruction Sword on it. So there you go. Full end board right there. I just want to say thank you all for watching this video today. And remember, if you guys did like the content, please consider giving us a like and subscribing to the channel. If you find this useful, maybe you could share it to a friend as well. It took a decent amount of time to make today, and I just thank you guys for sticking through it, and hopefully you guys learned something and helped your competitive Dragon Link playing a little bit more. So if you guys want to see more content like this, I can go into some other Dragon Link stuff to help you guys learn the deck, and just leave it in the comment section below, and I'll get right to it. But again, thank you all for watching, and peace.